Hi Aquarius, here's your astrology overview for 2024, brought to you by planetswithin.com. I am astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, get ready for a monumental year. This is because Pluto is going to enter your sign once again. That's going to be in January, and also in January, your ruler Uranus will wake up. So beginning right at the beginning of the year, you're going to notice a lot of changes in you and your own situation and your desire to move, to travel, to explore, to reinvent yourself. So this is a big year for many of you that are a sun sign Aquarius or a rising sign in Aquarius. Again, this is a very general overview of the year because I don't have everybody's birthday and everyone's birth chart is completely different. And so this is going to be a monumental year for change. And fortunately, you're one of the signs that doesn't have a problem with change, but it will shake your core. There will be many changes this year having to do with family dynamics, feelings, foundation, children. And then the second half of the year gets a little wonky and weird because of the outer planets, and I'll go into all of that. So I'm going to focus on the outer planets, and I've got charts for everything, and I'm going to give you a sort of a broad overview of what's going on. I'll give you some dates as well that you need to pay attention to, because they're going to be very strong indicators of some sort of change. So let's get into it, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So the first planet that we need to focus on is Jupiter in Taurus. Now, Jupiter in Taurus wakes up on the very first day of January 2024. Now, Jupiter has been working its magic in your fourth house, so that has to do with your home life, your feelings, your foundation. Since Jupiter entered in 2023, there's been such a heavy energy in that part of your chart, wanting to stay home or just be left alone, or working on your home or land or real estate or remodeling or whatever you're doing in the home life. This has definitely been the theme with Jupiter going through Taurus. Now, because we start off the new year with Jupiter in Taurus moving direct, again, these issues will come up having to do with money, values, beliefs, feeling like you have to change in some way. Your emotions are going to be off the charts as well. And so this is going to be very important because on May the 25th, Jupiter changes signs and goes into Gemini, which is a much lighter energy. Gemini is an air sign like yours, so the need for communication and self-expression is going to go through the roof. And it's going to be all of these words here associated with Jupiter and Gemini until June the 9th of 2025. But this Jupiter will enter your fifth house of love, romance, speculation, fun, children. And so this is going to amp up a lot of your creativity from May 25th on, having to do with connecting with others, especially family members, possibly even a romantic encounter or someone in your life that you care about very much. This could go through the roof, but communication will absolutely, Jupiter and Gemini will absolutely go off the charts for many of you. So this is going to be an important alignment to keep an eye on as well. Now, Saturn has been in Pisces for a while, since March the 7th, and it will stay here until February 2026. And Saturn is about restrictions, it's about limitations, it's about karma, it's about putting the effort in and getting rewarded. And it's a bit in Pisces, which is your second house of income and values. So many of you are learning very valuable lessons about your belief systems, about what you don't want, what you do want, what you want to put your effort into. It's a very spiritual alignment. It's also good for manifesting. So if there's something you want to manifest, use the energy of Saturn and Pisces to manifest that. Okay, because Saturn is all about structure and foundation, and Pisces is about imagination. And so when these two are combined, it could be very beneficial for many of you to focus on what you want and go after it and get it. That's how it works. Okay, so the entire year, Saturn will continue to be in Pisces. So that's going to help you a lot in that second house of income and values. Now, Uranus, your ruler here, which entered in May of 2018, stays here until April 2026. It continues to be in Taurus in that fourth house. And it will awaken on the 27th of this month. Uranus, as you know, is all about doing things in an unconventional way, outside the box, outside the norm. And it's been retrograde for, usually goes retrograde for about 5 months or so. And so it's going to awaken on the 27th and basically unleash you guys, a desire to break free, a desire to stop doing the same thing that you've been doing over and over again, being bored and wanting to break out from something. And it's in the 4th house, once again, having to do with the home, feeling, and foundation. And so this is where all the energy seems to be building up in January into February for many of you, and Uranus will lead the way when it comes out of retrograde. Now, this is the big enchilada for the year. Pluto re-enters your sign of Aquarius. Now, it'll be on January the 20th and 21st. It'll stay here all the way until September, where then it backtracks into the last degree of Capricorn. Now, when Pluto's in the last degree of any sign, or any planet is in the last degree of any sign, it takes on the characteristics of both signs. So it'll be on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, so still affecting you, having a lot to do with looking at the past at that time. But before then, for the next 9 months, Pluto will be in a very strong position for many of you in your first house of identity and self. So this means it's time for change. It's time for innovation. It's time to break free from the old ways, the old habits. And this is what's coming in for many of you. Between Jupiter and Pluto and Uranus, you have a big year, at least the first 7 months of 2024, with change of identity, change to your value system, change of residence, change of the people that surround you. There's a lot of this change coming in for many of you. And so, generally speaking, this is what everything with Pluto and Aquarius represents. It's all about innovation, technology with Pluto and Aquarius. And it's about humanity. Your sign is one of the signs that represents humanity. So smaller communities or helping your local communities or charities is something that's going to be on the top of the list this year for many of you. Let's look at the overview chart for Aquarius, Aquarius rising or Aquarius sun. There it is right there. As we can see here, your ruler is in retrograde in the 4th. Jupiter is in the 4th, but it's going direct. And here's Saturn in the 2nd, moving direct, along with Neptune in the 2nd, moving direct. But Pluto will be moving into your first house once again. And we have some really positive alignments with Mars, Mercury coming out of retrograde. There it is in stationary position. And then Venus in Sagittarius. So starting off the new year, there's a lot of optimism in the air. You sense it, you realize it. It's a new year for change. And you will absolutely take advantage of this in February and March, because these are going to be very important months for many of you. Okay, so the sun is going through as we begin the year in Capricorn along with Pluto. And so you're laying low, waiting to strike, waiting to make your move. And you will as soon as the energies start to shift in January. So here is Uranus moving direct on the 27th. Pluto also coming out of Capricorn into your first house. And it will conjunct on the 20th. So we'll conjunct the sun on the 20th. So big changes, big announcements, big desire to do something different will be highlighted right around January the 20th, give or take a week on either side. And so this is going to be monumental. We're also going to have Uranus starting to wake up. There it is in stationary position. So for many of you, the desire to move, to change, to redo something with home, feeling, land, whatever that involves in your life. And so the family dynamics start to shift. The energy starts to propel you forward into a new direction. And you won't be able to strike or make moves yet because of these outer planets. I mean, the inner planets here, Mercury, Mars, and Venus still in Capricorn, so you're kind of in the planning stages. January is a big month for planning. Okay, I need to do this, and I'm going to do this. And then as soon as, Uranus starts moving direct and going into February, many of you are, hot to go. I got to move. I got to go. And this is going to be very important for many of you. So keep an eye on that. Here are some of the major dates that I want you guys to jot down and keep an eye on, because these are very significant time frames, because there's a lot of energy when these alignments occur. So the first one obviously is the 20th, when Pluto re-enters Aquarius. That is very strong because it'll be conjunct that sun. But April the 20th, Jupiter conjunct Uranus in Taurus once again. This could be a decision to move. This could be a decision to buy property or land or something along those lines. Could be something that happens in the home life as well. But it's right around January the 20th. Give or take, like I said, a week or so on either side. Sometimes it's 2 weeks before. May the 23rd, Jupiter makes a favorable alignment to Neptune. So this is going to be from your second house to your fourth house. So there could be something to do with financial matters or home, real estate matters, something to do with a child, which this looks beneficial. And again, May the 25th, Jupiter enters Gemini, which is also very beneficial for you guys coming into May. And there's another alignment in June, on June the 2nd. So we have these two in May, and then this one on the 2nd, Jupiter trines Pluto. Okay, Pluto will be in Aquarius in your first house. Jupiter will have just entered Gemini in your fifth house. And so you are feeling optimistic. You know there's a significant change. This could have something to do with a child. It could have something to do with a project. It could have something to do with your love life. This is going to be monumental for many of you. New opportunities, something new coming into the picture. Now, take advantage of that energy, because as July and August hits, the energy starts to wane. It starts to get weirder. And here's one of the big reasons. On August the 19th, Jupiter in Gemini will square Saturn in the second. So there's absolutely changes that are starting to occur here that put a lot of pressure on you for some reason, either having to do with a child, having to do with your home life, having to do with creativity, possibly a project that's not moving. There could be financial matters on the table. There could be some heavy pressure coming in with this alignment that's going to occur. And again, these are very general overviews because everyone's birth chart is different. September 1st, there's that Pluto retrograding back into the last degree of Capricorn. It'll only stay at 29 degrees of Capricorn. And it'll stay there until November the 19th when Pluto re-enters Aquarius. Very monumental, very important. Then, of course, in December, we have this weird energy. Again, Mars retrogrades in Leo, and that's going to be in your seventh house. So for many of you, it has a lot to do with going back to the past, reconnecting with people from the past, situations from the past, ideas, friends, all of that stuff. And then we have that second Jupiter square Saturn again, which is very heavy energy. Now, this, if you follow my 2024 overview video, I talked about how the second half of the year of 2024, the energy is going to be really weird and wonky for everybody. And so there's either going to be an event that occurs, or something happens to society, or there could even be, as I said, a solar event where there's some heavy cosmic energy coming in October, which sets the tone for the rest of the year. So whatever you want to accomplish this year, Aquarius or Aquarius rising, I would do it in the first 7 months of 2024. Full speed ahead, make it happen, create the foundation, lay the groundwork, make it, that you feel comfortable in what you're doing. And then the second half of the year, pay attention to what's going on, because there's a great awakening occurring here. If you haven't noticed already, the world is changing because the powers that shouldn't be are basically, going for broke and trying to control humanity at all costs. And this is what's happening worldwide, not just in the United States. So this is a big, Pluto in Aquarius is a big rebellion against power structures, and that's what's occurring as well. So let's go into the eclipses, because they're always very important throughout the year. And so this has a lot to do with direction, and it has a lot to do with doorways that are closing and so on. And so the first one on March the 25th is a lunar eclipse in Libra. And this has a lot to do with relationships. It has a lot to do with direction, and it has a lot to do with change in what you want out of life and where you're going. And I believe this is in the 9th house. And so you're going to want to travel. You're going to want to explore. You're going to want to break free again from these heavy restrictions that you feel you're under, because Uranus and Jupiter are both moving direct in that 4th house. And so it's time for innovation and change. But here is the biggest one of the year, the total solar eclipse in Aries. Now, this is going to be in your 3rd house of communication and ideas. This also continues to highlight travel. This is basically reinventing yourself. You're saying, I'm taking charge of my life. I'm going in a new direction. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to do that. And so this is a huge eclipse that is going to force you to change in some way, because Aries energy is very much a rebellion energy like yours. And so you're going to be feeling the need to move forward in some way, in some capacity in your life. It's a new doorway that's opening up in your thinking and how you express yourself and how you want to be seen and how you want to think about what you want. And so you're going to become much more vocal in 2024 with whatever you have on your mind that you need to express yourself with. Now, this other one in September the 17th, is a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces in that second house of income and value. So this one has a lot to do with money matters. It has a lot to do with things and possessions. It has a lot to do with connections, spiritual connections to others. And so this one's going to be, I'm going to go over each chart over here, but this one's a heavy energy because it's going to be conjunct Neptune. So there could be a loss, there could be an ending, there could be a completion to something that you're just realizing that it has to run that course. And then the other eclipse is, the last eclipse, October 2nd, is a solar eclipse in Libra once again, opening up a doorway for a new direction, a new way of looking at things, new hopes for the future, new belief systems, new partnerships, new alliances. And this is going to be very important as well. So let me go over the charts and explain to you what I see. Here's the first eclipse. It's in Libra. It's going to be at 5 degrees of Libra. So wherever that is in your actual birth chart, that's going to be lit up. So it's between the Sun in Aries in the 3rd house and the Libra moon, full moon lunar eclipse in the 9th. So this has a lot to do with belief systems. It has a lot to do with communication. It has a lot to do with understanding your connection to others. It has a lot to do with change that is going to be occurring to society all over the world. And it'll be trining Pluto. So absolutely there'll be some sort of change to the people, the community, the people in your life, situations, where they're going, where you're going. And as you can see here, there's 4 planets in Pisces, which has a lot to do with values. It has a lot to do with finance as well. So I'm seeing some tricky alignments occurring here at this time where you'll have to make a decision, either a financial one or something to do with the home life. Could have something to do with your values, and also the outside possibility of someone not being well, health-wise, that you may have to maintain or to help take care of, or something along those lines. So all of these dynamics are running simultaneously in March. So it could be one of these, or it could be one of them or all of them. So again, it depends on your own actual birth chart. But as we go into the solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th, this is a huge one. This will be at 19 degrees of Aries in the 3rd house of communication. So you're very feisty at this time. The energy is very strong to express yourself. You're reinventing your thinking and, what you want and where you want to go. Travel and exploration is definitely highlighted here, maybe some short trips. Mercury is retrograde at this time, so watch for any confusion, a push and pull of ideas and concepts, which could, irritate you a little bit. But there's definitely some innovative energy coming in that 3rd house of communication for many of you. Now, this lunar eclipse is probably one of the heaviest and really, I don't want to say depressing, but it can be very sad and gloomy, only because it's conjunct Neptune. Here it is. It's going to be at 25 degrees of Pisces, and it's conjunct Neptune, and Saturn is loosely connected. But it'll be opposing the Sun in Virgo. But that's not the big deal. The big deal is it's squaring Jupiter right here in Gemini. So this could have something to do pertaining to a child or a family member, something to do with financial matters, something to do with sadness, maybe a loss of a pet or a loved one, or something to do with values, like, I can't believe this is happening. Oh my God, wow. Stuff like that. This is all on the table for this time frame over here. So like I said, from July on, it's going to get a little weird and wonky. But this is one of the saddest or heavy depression energy that I'm feeling. And it could be, again, be the cosmic energy that's coming in from space that I've been talking about that's making us feel weird or wonky. The good news of this one is pay attention to your intuition, because it's going to be very strong. Maybe dreams that are very vivid or visions that are very vivid that you need to pay attention to. So this is going to be one of the strongest. Now, the solar eclipse in Libra is a chance to reinvent yourself, your ideas, your concepts, your beliefs, your philosophy on life. This will be at 10 degrees of Libra in this 9th house. So again, travel, exploring, learning, teaching, having a little bit more fun. This is absolutely in the works with this solar eclipse in Libra. So I would say take advantage of it, because it looks pretty positive, for the most part. It has to do with being around other people and socializing and interacting with others, people that you really care about, people that you want to be around. This is going to be very strong for that doorway that opens. Now, here are the retrogrades. Pay attention to these because these are always moments that we have to reflect upon. The first one's not as big because it's going to come out of retrograde on the 1st. It's in Sagittarius. So it has to do with your hopes and wishes for the future, communication, ideas that you want, and planning. But this one is very important here, the April 1st, which is going to go right through that eclipse. And this is in Aries. So as much as you're excited about reinventing yourself, this Mercury retrograde is just suggesting, is this what you really want? Okay, let's review real quick before you move forward. And that's what this is indicating. Now, the August 5th one is in Virgo. So this has to do with your sense of purpose, health matters. It has to do with responsibility. And so you find yourself a little bit more responsible during this retrograde. And then the last one, again, is in Sagittarius in that 11th house. So it has a lot to do with your future and deciding where you want to go, where you want to be. So these are going to be very important eclipses. Here are the dates that I want you to keep an eye on. And all the ones in red are the ones you want to focus on because they do involve your sign, like the Sun conjunct Pluto in Aquarius on the 21st. That's huge. We also have on the 14th, Mars conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. That is heavy, heavy energy coming in your first house. And by the way, these first two, just in the first 3 months, you're going to feel so much more feistier because your ruler is awakened, and then Mars and the Sun will start irritating or activating that energy. And again, on March the 9th, Mars will square Uranus. That's going to be, once again, from the 4th house to the 7th house. So it could have something to do with a partnership or a relationship of some kind. And here's the big energy that's coming in. Once again, Jupiter will conjunct Uranus in Taurus on the 20th. That is huge. And then the Sun will conjunct Uranus in Taurus on May the 13th. That is also very huge for many of you. Again, having to do with the home, feeling, and foundation. So anything to do with the home life is going to be highlighted, which I'm seeing here. Big time from March, April into May. So pay attention. Here is the favorable alignments that I talked about, but here is the second half of the year once again, showing that this is going to be a very tricky second half of 2024. We also have a Mars conjunct in Uranus in Taurus right there on the July the 15th. Okay, so Mars will be in Taurus and Uranus will be in Taurus. Again, very feisty energy. And here is the rest of them. And please take a screenshot or write them down if you like. These are the energies that we really need to pay attention to. So to get through all this, friends, as I tell everyone, we are not our bodies, we are not our minds, we are not our fears, we are not our thoughts. We are the energy in these physical containers having a human experience. We are part of the light. We are spiritual beings of light. Whatever the source is, it seems to be some intelligent energy that we're all connected to that's beyond our comprehension in this physical body, but we do get feelings of being connected to it. Okay? Every time we have euphoric moments and we feel so much love, that's the source energy. That's the ultimate source energy. And so we are spiritual beings having human experiences. Always remember that and meditate on that every single day. It helps. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, share. Follow me on social media. I'll do my best to keep everyone informed on a monthly basis. And have a great year, Aquarius energy, Aquarius rising, Aquarius sun. Do the best you can and make the changes you need. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.